So, welcome all to today's meetup session on Introduction to Agentic AI. And this event is being hosted by Data Couch. And today we are honored to have our SME, Mani Kanteshwara Rao Garlapati, as our instructor for the session. About the speaker, let me do a quick introduction. Mani is a seasoned AI consultant with extensive experience in machine learning, NLP, social media analytics, and predictive modeling. Specializing in text mining, deep learning, and statistical modeling, he has contributed to cutting edge innovations, including behavioral characteristics identification using social media data. With expertise spanning telecommunications, banking, finance, insurance, and retail, he has led teams in AI driven product research and analytical solutions. Before we begin, let me take a moment to introduce Data Couch. We are leaders in professional service delivery, specializing in generative AI, agentic AI, data engineering, cloud, blockchain, cybersecurity, agile, DevOps, and data science based consulting, implementation, and training. Our offerings include consultancy, custom solution implementation, enablement services, and upskilling and training. In addition to our core offerings, we have a proprietary browser based virtual lab solution, and we also offer managed services for infrastructure and human capital to meet the unique requirements of organizations of all sizes and scale. We are excited to share that our global footprints has enabled us to transform the careers of over 200K professionals. Thanks to this growing community of learners, our expertise now spans cutting edge technologies like Web3, generative AI, big data, DevOps, and cloud, to name just a few, where we continue to push the boundaries of innovation. Highlighting our significant achievements, we have successfully partnered with Fortune 500 companies and global system integrators, that is GSIs, such as Infosys, Accenture, TCS, as well as tech giants like Apple, Google, and financial corporations like PayPal, Bank of America, among others. Driven by our commitment to community and knowledge sharing, we have established three specialized meetup groups: AI Minds, Generative AI User Group, and All Things Data. With a membership exceeding 27,000 plus members, our community has participated in over 200 such sessions covering more than 100 diverse technologies and tools. We are honored to announce that Confluent has recognized us as the only global education partner for the years 2022, 2023, and 2024. This recognition, received for the third consecutive year, underscores our leadership in providing cutting edge training and consultancy services on a global scale. Also, as the first training delivery partner for Starburst Data, One House, and Event Store, we are proud to forge and build upon strong partnerships with industry leaders. While some client names remain confidential, our collaborations include a global beverages and snacks multinational, a premier North American payment solutions provider, a cutting edge cybersecurity and risk management platform, and a retail giant with operations across 5 continents. Now, I would like to take, uh, I would like to request Mani to possibly take over this session and talk a bit more about the meetup session today. Over to you, Mani.
Thank you so much, Bona. And I hope everyone can hear me okay. Bona,
Yes,
can I present the screen? Is that okay?
please. Absolutely. Please go ahead, Mani.
Yeah. Okay, so I hope you are able to see the screen.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, great. Okay, hello everyone. Thanks so much, Buna, for the wonderful introduction about myself. I currently work with Google at an organization called Trust and Safety. My role is primarily to identify abuse or any kind of fraud or spam that can happen on Google search. Essentially, my role is to make Google search a safe place for all of us. To start off today's session on Introduction to Agentic AI, I want to first throw some light on how the LLMs have grown over time. So, as we all know, LLMs are for large language models, and the even why agentic AI has come into the picture is all because of the growth of how these large language models are able to understand, and the ability to understand for these models has come because of its parameters that it has to retain information. So, as you can see, it has grown like a tree, and as the number of the tree increases with the number of parameters that it can host, the functionality of it has also increased. Like you can see slowly code completion, summarization has come over time, semantic parsing, or understanding the context, long context understanding, and ability to resonate and logical interference and all of that has come into the picture, right? So it's only growing exponentially. The way these large language models can understand, and that has created the pathway to these AI agents. And they have started understanding vision, text, audio. It started providing more explanation. They provided conversational interaction, right? So all of this is enabled because of these large language models. Now let's try to understand the trend about these. So you can see multiple articles where they're going like 2025 will be the year of the agents, and the future is all about agents. And the three main things is AI, agents, and the data. Right. So knowing about agents and how they work and how they're going to unlock the potential of different businesses would be the key for the year 2025. Now let's understand what is this AI agent that we all constantly hear about. So it's an application which can reason on how to get to a particular goal. So and it is going to take some inputs, and it is going to interact with some tools. Whenever it requires to achieve a particular goal. So that's called an agent, right? So you basically create some requirements saying that, hey, I want to get something or achieve something by leveraging xyz tool. For example, uh, there is an application where you just tell application, hey, I want to identify all the YouTube videos where it is talking about AI agents, and then I want to find out the corresponding authors information from the internet, right? So there are two tools that we would need to access. One is YouTube, to go and parse and get all the relevant YouTube videos. Two would be to get to the internet, and based on the metadata of the video, saying that okay, so this is the title, this is when it was posted, probably the handle of the YouTube person who posted, and then get from some citations across the web, and identify who is the actual author, what is the name of the author. Probably it could be on the YouTube video itself, right? So this is a second tool. So connecting these two tools based on the input what we asked, and providing the goal or the output to with whatever necessary actions that we have told, all that application which does that is called an agent. Now it does this goal by observing the whole world and working with different tools. And it has three to four major components. One is a model, which basically helps to reason and question and understand what is the plan and how do you generate a response. So the model is the core for these AI agents. And then obviously the tools, because any action that we do would need it to interact with like an API with the tool to get that action done. And orchestration is where you keep in memory while interacting across different tools, or while working on the plan, or while getting the data in and out across different tools. So you need to do an orchestration or understanding of the data and the and retaining it in the memory and keeping it state. So the model, tool, and orchestration are the key competence for an AI agent. Now, some examples like how data scientists use. They can use it for creating visualizations or splitting data sets or running auto ML or multiple different machine learning models. So there are n number of ways how data scientists can use agents. Employee, you can use it for some admin tasks or processing returns or doing certain automations, or you can HR could use it for selecting benefits or having like an chatbot so that it can answer different questions for the employees. So all that is possible. In research, it has tremendous potential in terms of like, so you might be doing a clinical trial and you'll have a lot of your own experiments data, and using that you want to basically identify from few billions of protein structures which protein structure is ideal, right? So for that you can use LLMs to train on the specific data that you have, and then ask it to go into the internet and fetch more information corresponding to those experiments and find the relevant uh, structure that you would want. Developers, they can use for code completion, designing systems, identifying, acting as a critic to see if there are any bugs, or making it more secured. So there are so many ways of how a developer can also use. So it's let's do like take an analogy here, right? Like it's similar to like going to a restaurant and then ordering for a burger. So you, what do you say? You just go like you go to a driveway and then say, "Hey, I want burger with fries." So that is the goal. And now the agent is all this restaurant where the worker takes the order and then he goes and passes on to the back room where they start. One person creates the fries. One person start making the burgers with taking the buns, and then the other person, one more agent goes and then creates a patty for it, starts frying it, making it hot, and then the assemble function where it talks to all these three different agents: who's making the fries, who's getting the buns, and who's getting the patty, brings it all together, start processing it, makes it. And then there's an agent which goes and collects that burger, packages it, gives it to the front room, and the front room agent collects the payment and then hands over the burger, right? So if you see in the back end, the to achieve the goal that we stated, which is the input, and it has used several different tools, like for tools for frying, tools for getting the burger pieces, and then putting all together, packaging it, tool for collecting payment, tool for delivering, and then handing off to you, right? So all of this together is, you can call it like an agent. And one thing to remember is non-agentic generative AI applications need not be an agent application. Agentic applications need to have an interaction with the tool. So that could be a key differentiator, because even non-agentic application could have a goal. They could have some input. They could have orchestration internally without the tools. So think of like any application without interaction with the tool need not be called as an agent. So, for examples are like summarization of news articles, or zero shot with retrieval augmented generation systems, or any hard coded sequence of different zero few shot locations. So all these are just getting the goal, and it need not be um, uh, kind of an agentic application. So let's try to understand the architecture of how these agentic systems looks like, right? Like you typically will have the end user, and then you have the agent runtime where the entire application of a agent is running. And the end user typically sends a query. And once the query is given, you have the agent brain, which is essentially the orchestration part of it. So, which what it does, it basically creates a profile, understand the goals, creates instructions for interacting with the tools, and then it also it handles the memory, the short term and the long term in terms of okay, what is needed for regular processing with one particular tool. In the long term, what needs to be retained, what needs to be passed off, and then you also need the model for based reasoning or planning, essentially to interact with different tools. And the orchestration essentially happens with different Gen AI models, where one agent can use multiple different models. And the orchestration also will happen with different tools via APIs, functions, or talking to different databases where data is hosted. Or it could be like a multi-agent in architecture where it could be different agents. So agent handling multiple different agents could be a multi-agent system, and the overall architecture would encompass all of this, right? So we have seen the three components. The fourth component where the system can run is the runtime, and that is also an important part of the overall architecture for an agent. Now, let's talk more about how Google is in the Google Cloud, how it's expanding, right? So, Vertex AI search and conversation, which is some of the features on the Google Cloud, and which has a lot of capabilities, is expanding, and now it is they are coming up with something called as Agent Builder. So, they are going to give a lot of flexibility with the agent builder where from no code to full code and customization, you can create agents. Like someone, they could be in the forum, we could have a lot of non-technical folks and there's technical folks. And for non-tech folks who don't want to work on code but want to create amazing agents, they can still do by using the no code tools which are available on Google Cloud. And then there is someone want like the mid-level comfortable, they can use low code agent builders, or you're a full stack developer, end-to-end coding, you can directly go ahead on work with different technologies, frameworks, open source tools, and then interconnect multiple different things and then create your own customized agent. So everything is possible. Now coming to the tools, for orchestration, you have LangChain, GenKit, different agents, or you can create your own DIY. For ground and argument, so this is essentially for creating the data necessary or the inputs. So you need connectors, web search, and different data sets. For taking actions, you need to call different functions, you need to have certain extensions and certain primitives in like you do need to process different documents. You have to have retrieval engines, ranking for providing an order in the output. And on the base, you have your model builder, the model garden, and all of that. We'll talk more about these later on. So these are essentially for creating and hosting your model, managing your model, and then the model garden is where you monitor it over time. Now let's talk a lot more on how to build agents on Google Cloud, so that we are able to execute something and then see how to create agents. So Google Cloud has been creating a unified platform for all predictive, generative, or different agentic needs. So on the top you have different LLMs. So the LLM created by Google is called Gemini, and it's available Gemini for Workspace. You have Gemini for Google Cloud, and also you can have different AI agents that are created by Google. And then you obviously need data, so you can use a lot DB. It's a type of databases that is available in Google Cloud. For data analytics, you can work with BigQuery. And for AI ML, you can create agent builder, model garden. And Vertex AI has been its pioneer AI ML solution where you can do a lot of things in Vertex AI, like say translation, say image recognition, any machine learning use case could be solved with Vertex AI on Google Cloud. For insights, you have Looker, right? So think of an agent where you need to interact with different tools, probably a database tool or AML tool, and achieve the goal that you would want, right? So these are the different tools that are available on cloud. For governance, in terms of security or looking after the model, you have Dataplex, Google Cloud, MLOps, and all of that. And then you also have the infrastructure, which is the hypercomputer that Google can offer in terms of how much of GPU or TPU compute that you would want. You can easily scale on a click of a button. And not just that, it also provides flexibility curation at every layer in order to avoid any kind of hooking. So on the data side, you can talk to multiple different systems. You have a single unified access for different levels of data, or you can access your data lake with structured, unstructured data and start streaming it. Right. So all and everything is possible in terms of data. When coming to compute, you have abundant of TPUs and GPUs. You can have your own custom GPUs incorporated into the private Google Cloud. So everything is possible in terms of compute. When coming to framework, it's very seamless to interact with Open AI or Google frameworks and then start creating generative AI agents. So you can talk with TensorFlow, PyTorch, and whatnot. When coming to models, you get access to the best models, and you can not just that, you can even use open source models integrate with them, like Imagen, the Meta or Kaggle, Hugging Face, and Gemma. These are all a lot of different open source and private models, and you can access all of them. Now, coming to agents, Google can also help create and help you to partner in terms of building and deploying them. You have Vertex AI, Llama Index, LangChain. So there are multiple different frameworks that are available for you to start creating agents and deploying it. And let's understand how these agents can transform organizations and across different industries, right? So let's talk about retail. So retail is one of the major area where it can completely transform the business. One, it could be customer service interaction, or it could be inventory optimization, or it could be more for catalog creation, and for all of the digital experience improvement, you can use AI agents. Healthcare. So we just touched upon in terms of research where protein structures can be identified, or you want to run different clinical trials, then you can create multiple agents for diagnosis, for drug discovery, and all of the clinical support. Banking or financial sector. So you could do risk assessments, customer service, middle office optimization and operations. All of that can be easily handled with agents in the financial sector. Media and entertainment for content creation. I think we are already using it for generating content, for creating ad optimization, or any of that in the media and entertainment center. AI agents can be deployed. Telecom, call center can be optimized, and regulatory or compliance reporting can be optimized with AI agents. You can see and manage the end-to-end network operations. So all of that is possible with AI. Manufacturing and logistics, predictive maintenance, quality management, or supply chain, or improving the efficiency. Uh, you name a department, there would be a use case for an AI agent deployment. Technology, I think there are so many examples like chatbots, assistants, translators, or may it could be even management of architectures, anything, right? Like more essentially, wherever you see a human being manually doing something, there is a scope for AI agents to work as humans and replace them and do it more seamlessly in a more interactive way. So there is a scope across each and every industry. Now let's see how these AI agents have evolved over time, right? So firstly, we have seen a lot of these large language models where with prompts, you used to ask LLM a question and then it used to provide an answer. So that's where it started, like a couple of years back with OpenAI having ChatGPT launched. Then over time, what happened is, okay, why just LLM? Let's also have RAG, retrieval augmented generation, where it is able to whatever is the limited scope of LLM, we are expanding it by giving it ability to talk to the internet and then get more answers from the internet, right? So the LLM plus RAG has become the norm. And the next level is, okay, now LLM can not only answer what it knows and what it doesn't know, but can it also do certain use cases, like can it interact with certain tools, certain other tools, and then achieve a particular goal. So now you have LLM retrieval in actions, where the LLM also does certain action by talking to a tool like YouTube, talking to a tool like Zoom for creating meetings, or accessing your calendar, and then accessing your phone contacts, making calls and talking to them. So it can do any number of things. And now we are in the state of where there are multiple tools. You have a reasoning loop where the input output orchestration across these different tools is going to be interacted, and then you have an output. And eventually, where we are headed is towards the multi-agent systems, where you have an agent and there is multiple other agents, and all of these can intercommunicate, exchange, and then create a personalized application for an enterprise, for a user. So the multi-agent systems is where we are headed right now. Okay, so well, we understood what are agents, how agents have evolved, and what they can do, and how powerful they are. But which Google Cloud option should you use to, start creating these agents? So, like we said, there is no code to full code options available on Google Cloud. So the simpler agents, they usually be less effort. But if you want more complex with lot more flexibility and control in these agents, then you would have a lot more effort. So the easy way is something called as an agent space, where it's a UI without any code. You can start building agents, and you can focus mostly on internal employee use cases and all of that. So agentic space is where you have a lot of uh, drag and drops existing agents for you to modify for your custom use case and then redeploy. And then there are customer engagement agents, where it's a natural language based UI where you can just talk to it, interact with it, it understands your requirement, and that's an agent to create multiple other agents. But they are very much focused towards customer experience related use cases in terms of call center management and all of that. And then you have the Vertex agent framework and the agent engine, which is a mid-level complexity where you can create code and then use some of the Google internal frameworks available to create your own custom agents, deploy it, and monitor for different goals that you have. And the most complex is you're not just using Google features, but open source features from scratch, or your own custom research models that you have. You can integrate with Google Cloud and then combine all together very powerful, customizable, flexible agentic systems. So that's the most complex option that you could also choose. Now let's see the workflows, right? If you are a business user, how should you navigate. So suppose you're a business user and you want a UI based creation without any code or less code, then you start with this node and then say, okay, yes, I don't know, I want a no code platform. Uh, and then you can just go here where you can use the agent space, or you are like mid-level comfortable, then you can use the conversational agents. If no, I want to have a lot more complexity, then you go here and then see whether you want to use open source frameworks or you want to use internal Google related frameworks. Yes, then you use Vertex AI agent frameworks and agent engine. If not, you use open source from scratch or from scratch uh, or you want to combine it with Vertex AI frameworks, then this is the final option, right? So that's the workflow overall of how you can choose different options that are available on Google Cloud for you to build different agentic systems. Okay, so before we go into the travel, I want to just share. We'll give like 5 to 10 minutes at the end for any questions that you might have. So hold on, and right after we're almost there, probably we'll take another 10-15 minutes, and then we could definitely have some time to have any of your questions addressed. Okay, now what I've done is I've created a demo to show you how an agentic system looks like. So what the demo that you're going to see is going to be a travel agent or a travel concierge. So right now, if you want to travel, what do you do? First, you basically research. You see, you get certain inspirations, saying that, hey, I want to go to Maldives, I want to go to Europe or Switzerland, and you get certain inspirations. And after you get inspiration, you make a decision. Okay, I want to go to this particular destination, and based on the destination, what do you want to do? You want to basically book flights, look for options, or you have certain preference saying that I want to use a particular airline, etc. And then you want to basically probably figure out transportation, and then you want to find probably want to do figure out certain activities. So first you want to know the climate in that destination and all of that, right? So this is an end-to-end travel concierge for you to create vacations or destinations trip planning and all of that. So the demo agent is for that. So it would look something like a chatbot, and you could see how it is working. So you can see that in the first one, like you are choosing for beach destinations in America, then it is giving you inspirations like Cancun, Bahamas are the best, and it actually getting ratings from TripAdvisor. So the goal is to get information about and plan your travel. And here it is talking to different tools like TripAdvisor, getting the information that you would want and providing you back with responses. Now, I say I understood I want to go to Cancun. Now I want to get different flight deals for Cancun. And it is what it is doing is basically asking you an input. Where are you flying from? Okay, well, I will take you to Cancun, but tell me where are you from? And the user is giving an input saying that, hey, I'm traveling from Chicago, and then automatically it is giving you different airline options. So it's going to the internet, probably calling Google Flights or something, and then telling, okay, these are the flight options, these are the best options that you have, this is the duration, the round trip cost is so and so. And then it is asking the user to choose which airline. So he's saying United Airlines. Once you select that, the seat selection page pops up, and then you can see the user will be able to see the available seat. And then if it's a paid, then you can select the seat. And once you select the seat, they ask for the passenger name. Once you enter the name, you can just click on confirm reservation. Once you confirm, in the backend, uh, even your payment could be integrated with the agent. And once you integrate it, automatically authorize the payment, create an order ID, it creates the ticket. That's it. So your tickets are booked. And then you can ask, what is the weather like in Cancun? At that time, when you're doing the vacation, it tells you your forecast, right? So an end-to-end agent, right from creating inspiration, taking requests, creating tickets, and then talking about the weather, all of these end-to-end tools that it can interact and achieve the goal that you would want is truly amazing, and that's how agents can unlock a lot of different use cases in a simple manner. Okay, so now let's understand, how is this agent even working? So there are different workflows. So you'll have a root agent, which basically needs to interact with multiple different things. So this root agent interacts typically with the user for input, and then also shares the output across different other agents to show the output back to the user. This agent typically would talk to three major agents. One is an inspiration agent to provide inspirations for the user. Then there's a planning agent to help better plan for flight bookings. And then you have the booking agent, which is basically for confirming reservations, collecting payments, or eventually collecting all the reservation details and sharing back to the user. Now, the inspiration agent would have another couple of agents that it would have to interact with. One is a place agent to get different places of interest, talk to TripAdvisor, getting the information, the ratings, and all of that. So that is the place agent. And then there is another thing called point of interest agent, which will basically tell, okay, what are the different points that could be of interest for the user based on his inputs, right? So this is called it as point of interest agent, and they have a specific purpose. So if you observe, every agent will have a particular goal. It will access a set of tools, and then it will start processing and interact with other agents. And now, if you see the planning agent, so it basically interacts with three adult modules. One is a flight search agent. So what it does, it goes, talks to, say, Expedia, Make My Trip, or Google Flights API, get for the set due dates, for the set destination, to and fro, for the number of taxi, when it could do a flight search and say, hey, these are the best flights that are available for you, and you can make booking using that. And then there is flight seat selection agent, where it can help you to set a particular seat and then make reservations for that. And then it could also be a weather agent to get weather predictions for that time frame, how the weather looks like, so that you can plan your trip better. Right? So all this is a planning agents, which all would be handled by the planning agent. And now we are coming to the booking agent. So for booking agent is essentially to confirm the reservation, or it could be acting like another like a payment agent, or it could display the reservation details by once all of the things are confirmed. And the payment agent has a couple of other agents, like it could be like a payment choice, like there could be multiple payment methods of how to collect the payment. So providing the payment choice, and next one is the processing payment, because you might have to talk to the particular third party for issuing the ticket or the particular airlines, and you need to process the payment, remit the payment, and handle all of the interaction back and forth. So processing of the payment could be a specific agent altogether. So net, there are a multitude of agents which are running in the backend for the demo that you have seen, and all of them are managed with the central agent. And you are able to design this end-to-end concierge for making travel reservations. Now, and how did we make it? This has been made. You can create it with a no-code tool. But the first thing that is key is you need to create a mental map, like a workflow like this, like what all agents you would want, how should they interact, how should you create these chains of interaction, and so that your agent is ready for the use cases that you would want to build. Okay, now let's try to understand the agent architecture that was leveraged for this particular demo, right? So you have this travel concierge agent, and that itself has been built with a lot of this framework. So you have the next JavaScript UI web client. So this is the user interface. So you need to have a web interface that you have seen, right? Where user is typing and sending the prompt. So that was done with JavaScript. And that front end is essentially interacting with in the back end with Fast API and Vertex, and that Fast API agent API is essentially talking to Vertex agent SDK, and this Vertex agent is essentially talking to three different agentic systems. One is the inspiration agent, next one is the planning agent, next is the booking agent. And this inspiration agent is talking to three different tools. One is Gemini, YouTube, and Google Web, right? So essentially, it needs to crawl the web to get all the essential details that you would want. And why these three? Because you basically to create inspirations. I think one other tool which is TripAdvisor. TripAdvisor is coming from the Google web search itself, right? To get the ratings and all of that information. And YouTube is to essentially show some example videos for the inspiration destination that the user might be interested in. And coming to the planning agent, it basically coordinates with different airlines, or central third-party ticketing partner, Google Maps, and then Gemini. And coming to the booking agent, you have Gemini, and then you need to also have the payment APIs. It might also need to interact with Google Pay if that is one of the payment methods that the user might want to use. So you can see that this is the whole ecosystem and the set of different tools that were used to for the demo that you have seen for the agentic system that was created. And now let's even try to understand how these different agents that are present, how they connect with different tools and different agentic frameworks. Like it can support a lot of different out of the box support to Google search for doing a lot of code executions or Vertex AI framework, or you want to have Vertex AI RAG framework. It can talk to BigQuery if you have a lot of data analysis that you want to do, or you can connect to Google Cloud databases and all of that. Or it can even provide support for different functions and APIs that are different present. And not just it can also you provide support for different asynchronous tools for different long running operations to solve a multitude of problems. And then the API Hub integration is also present where you can do a lot of managed connections. You can connect with the custom APIs, RPGs and the frameworks, API framework and all of that. So all of these out-of-box tools are at your disposal where agent and these tools can be interconnected to provide powerful multi-agent systems to solve different business problems. And what you see on the right are different tools that Google Cloud can interact, or any cloud platform can interact and help you create powerful agents. So you can see Active Directory by Microsoft, Kafka, Data Lake, FTP HubSpot, SAP, right, and then Trello, Workday, Zoho, Twilio, Snowflake, Greenplum, IBM Amazon S3 bucket for data storage, Apache Cassandra, and email, HTTPS interactions, Jira, Meta Ads, HANA database, or Splunk, right, whatnot. So you name a particular tool, you can create the agent to interact with the tool, and then deploy it to make very powerful, user-friendly agent. And with that, we come to the end. Thank you so much. It was very nice to see such an amazing big crowd. And we have the last 10 minutes for any questions that anyone might have.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mani. I think that was a very informative and engaging session today. And I hope that all the participants here found the insights as valuable as I did here. And thank you so much for that engagement on the chat. Mani, there are a couple of questions in the chat that I see. If you would please take them up.
Sure. Is it possible for you to read it up, Bhuvana?
Sure. Let me just scroll through and I will just find. So let me just start from the beginning. So there is a question related to pertaining to AI agents. What are some of the stable and robust platforms we have today to build AI agents? This is being asked by Puneet Babu.
Okay. So all of these big tech companies, like which provide Google cloud services, like Google, you have Amazon, you have Microsoft. These three are the big players, and they are competing heavily at the moment. As we talk, they are basically expanding the integrations available to other open source tools. So right now, for example, on Google Cloud, all of the different tools that I have just shared in the previous slide, the interactions with all of these tools might not be present. It's been constantly worked on to enable those tools available where the agent can talk to these tools. So, but a lot of functionality is there for you to start get going, and I think by in a quarter or two, most of the tools that used across the organizations, the integrations for them would be made available on the cloud platforms. So NetNet, Google Cloud, Amazon, AWS, Microsoft Azure. So these are the top three cloud partners, and they're offering a lot of these agentic AI platforms for you to build it with no code or with full customization and full code.
Thank you for that, Mani. And also, there is another question. This is from Swapnil. I want to know best frameworks and tools for building RAG basis agent.
Got it. So you could create, and like I said in the presentation, there are multiple ways. Like, are you a technical person where you are able to create your own code and then build your own agent from scratch, or are you a non-tech guy or a mid-level guy? So basis that, like I said in the presentation, you need to choose the right pathway. So I would suggest choose. You can start with Google Cloud or AWS or any cloud platform. Choose one cloud platform. They're going to give you free credits for you to explore and then interact with the platform. And once you do that, they would definitely have a section. And I know that Google Cloud has a module for creating agents where you can use Vertex AI and then start creating. Probably start with the no code platform where you just have to do a few clicks and then create it, and then have an inspiration for like what is that agent that you want to first create, right? So see of a daily business problem or some issue that you face. It could be a very routine thing that you do, something like every day morning as you wake up, what you're going to do, you're going to look into emails, check climate, to look at the traffic, you would basically see when is the next coming holidays. So this is like a snapshot. Just create an agent which will do all of this for you, and then just show at one place in the tool, or you get an SMS saying that, hey, you have 4 hours of meeting today, and you have today's traffic is like pathetic or whatever, and then it tells you everything, and it solves your, it makes your life easier. So keep that problem, have create that model framework, and then like I showed the demo, creating the architecture, build it out, and then start with a no code platform. That would be the easiest that I would advise, and then slowly create some customizations, and then slowly get into this space of AI agents.
Thank you, Mani. There are a couple of more questions. One of the questions that I do see is RAG required for an agent? This is by Sumuk.
So RAG is required because you would obviously want LLMs to uh, provide recent and accurate information, or it could be something that LLM is not trained on. So it is always helpful. And sometimes if the use case that you are working on is very narrowed, and there is no need for any new data or information that it needs to try from the internet or something, then you won't necessarily. But most use cases, it would be ideal if a retrieval augmented generation system is present uh, for your AI agent.
Great. Possibly just one last question, Mani.
Mhm.
How DevOps build career on AI agents? So possibly Akash wants to know how can you build a career related to AI agents?
Right. So that's a very nice question, and I will make it an answer which is more generic, not specific related to DevOps, because there are so many others across different fields, and these agents are gonna come across everyone's jobs, right? It's the transformational. They are gonna be like acting like you, whatever you do at your work every day in day out, they are gonna act like you and do the things that you do. Name it coding, name it testing, or you're doing operations, or you're a call center agent, or even this session hosting. So there will be a virtual agent which is like talking to the organizer and then participants and then acting like a moderator. So even the session that you're doing could be an agent, or it could be a trainer like me. It could replace me, where it creates its own presentation about the topic. It answers the questions that you guys are all asking. It could do that. If you are designing the system to be able to do all of that, it will be able to handle each and everything that we can do, and everything what we do could be replaced. So now, when we are heading into a world which is as astonishing as that, at a very fast pace that we are moving, uh, each one of us needs to evolve in our skill set, or else we'll be outdated, right? We will be replaced by these AI systems. So you need to typically hone skills of how to control these AI agents. How do you build these agents, and what could be the areas that these agents might not perform well. So, how much ever automation or agents or AI that we would leverage, there would always be a need for human intervention to control, to monitor, to deploy, or to see compliance, or to see user interaction, client interactions. So, this is something always there will be a human. For example, would you prefer your questions to be answered by an AI bot, or a human user who is experienced and knowledgeable in that field, right? What would be your preference as an end user? Obviously, you would want to talk to another human being, but not to a system or something, right? So, in the same way, in the business, your clients would want to interact with different people and stuff, and so that they get their queries addressed. And they would always need a person who can control these AI agents, monitor their performance, look for systems and anomalies. But just that, you will need to upskill yourself to see how these agents function, how do they work, what are these architectures, what are the frameworks out there, and then you need to, more than depth, focus on breadth, because you need to know a lot of variety that is there. Say you suppose you are a DevOps guy, and there are multitudes of databases, frameworks which are available, and with these agents, you should be having the flexibility to understand all of these different nuances and interconnect them and create one complete end-to-end system. So getting understanding of these agentic systems, large language models, how AI trends are evolving, what are the keeping up with the current trends, recent developments. That is what will give you edge over the others and help you sustain in the long term.
Thank you, Mani. I think that was quite insightful and that was very detailed. So I'm pretty sure this would help all the participants who are joining us today. Before we conclude, I kindly ask everyone to take a moment to complete the feedback form that is shared in the chat. And your feedback is invaluable in helping us enhance our future sessions. And for those of who missed any part of the session or wish to revisit the material for today's session, our recording will be available on Data Couch's YouTube channel. The link to the recording will be shared on our social media channels and our monthly newsletter. If you have any further questions or would like to explore additional resources, please feel free to reach out to us at hello@datacouch.io. And to stay updated on our upcoming sessions and access more valuable content, please subscribe to our social media channels and join our meetup groups. The relevant links are available in the chat. Sincerely thank Mani for all the informative and insightful session that you've provided. I believe we all found some value, and thank you all for participating and for keeping this very interactive. We look forward to welcoming you at our next event. Wishing you a wonderful rest of the day or evening and a great weekend. Thank you so much. Special thanks to Mani. Thank you, Mani.
Thank you, guys. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.